Yo, today is May 5th, 2023. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, cover breaking news, culture-matic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. We bring on all Bitcoiners from the biggest names to the everyday Bitcoiner. Definitely hit us on Twitter. Hit us on Twitter if you want to join the show. That's what it's all about. Anyways, today, interesting news. It was actually Crypto Bastardo who's done a great job dropping some articles for Forbes, kind of talking about the situation happening in Argentina. To give a little bit of context, the country was reported to have 104% inflation, which is absolutely bonkers. They also got bailed out by the IMF last year. And one of the clauses, one of the conditions that the IMF gave to give out that bailout was that the Argentine government had to de-incentivize the adoption of Bitcoin or the use of alternative currencies. So I thought that was really fascinating. That was really interesting. Clearly that's not working. And the reason it's not working is something that we've talked about tremendously on this show is when the guy on TV goes on and say it's your patriotic duty to use the state currency, the national money, and you have an alternative, and that alternative gives you the ability to put food on the table, 99.99% of the people are going to choose the alternative that gives them the ability to provide for their family, right? So this is something that we don't see in the developed world. We have the financial privilege of, living in countries that have relatively stable inflation rates, or the inflation rate isn't so high that, you're aware of that you're being basically stolen from. So I feel extremely optimistic, and I'm very bullish about the adoption of Bitcoin in developing countries in the global South. I think that's really where this is going to happen first. And I think that's exactly what's happening, not only in Argentina, but also in Nigeria as well. Anyways, before we start the show, I want to bring up my awesome co-host, always optimistic. How you doing, Opti?
I'm doing great, bro. It's Friday. What's that one song? It's Friday. We're in this place, man, and I'm excited for today. Honestly, I'm waiting for some Nico Jones rants, but I think I'm more excited to talk with my buddy Anders today on the culture. So this one's gonna be good, and I think you guys are gonna like this one. So let's bring up Anders. Let's get this show on the road, bro.
Let's do it. Bring him up, brother.
What's up,
dog?
Yeah, man. I guess the price of Bitcoin, I just noticed, is up a little bit. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. But how are you feeling this Friday, Anders? What's going on with you, bro?
Well, the sun came out a little bit. The weather hasn't been too good in LA, but sun is coming out a little bit. That feels good. It feels good that now there's 13 days to us throwing the party in Miami. Yesterday, I got to hang out with an amazing group of Bitcoiners at Swan Lounge in Los Angeles, with Corey and that whole Swan team, and a lot of guests. Now, they do that once a month, as you know, Nico. You host the one in Miami. I wasn't there last month because I was traveling, but yesterday was unlike anything I've seen before. There was like twice the amount of people. And I asked Corey what's happening, and it just seems like people are waking up because of all this banking, which is what James Lavish spoke about, all the troubles in the banking sector. So it seems there's a really growing momentum for wanting to understand and get exposure to Bitcoin. So that's super exciting. I'm happy for people that are deciding to opt out, or at least buy fire insurance in this burning fiat house.
Yeah, and for anyone, to give a little bit of context, the Swan Salon is an exclusive event for Swan private members that the company I work for, Swan, throws basically once a month in LA and once a month in Miami. It's a real good time, and I suspect they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm really glad that you were able to make it yesterday, Anders. That's really, really awesome. Anyways, guys, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the show. Let's go into numbers. Let's do this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by Nodl. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a Nodl through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. I also want to tell you about the biggest Bitcoin conference on the face of the earth. It's happening this month. Get your tickets quickly to Bitcoin 2023. Miami Beach, Florida, May 18th through the 20th. You can use the promo code SIMPLY to get a 10% discount to Bitcoin 2023. Let's go through some of the speaker lists because there were some last minute additions. We have a presidential candidate currently in second place in the Democratic presidential primary, trailing Joe Biden. We have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's been a vocal advocate against central bank digital currencies, and he's been pro Bitcoin. And it's really interesting. We actually dedicated an entire episode on this phenomenon earlier on the week. This is a bipartisan thing because on the Republican side, on the right side of the aisle, you have Governor Ron DeSantis, who's also trailing Donald Trump in the Republican primary for president, and he's a staunch advocate no, he's not such advocate, but he is strongly against central bank digital currencies. They actually just signed the bill in Florida yesterday, basically saying, yep, you can't have central bank digital currencies in Florida. And again, he's not as strong a proponent for alternatives like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but he says, look, if people want to buy them, they should be able to. Of course, you have Michael Saylor, you have Alex Gladstein, you have Tulsi Gabbard, you have Adam Back, Jack Mullers, Senator Cynthia Lummis, Lynn Alden, Dylan LeClaire, and many, many more. You want to get your tickets quickly. Prices do go up. In 12 hours, there will be another ticket increase. So you get your tickets now to Bitcoin 2023. You can use promo code SIMPLY. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is $29,635. Sats per dollar, 3,374. Block height, 788,384. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 17,096. Blocks to halving, 51,616. Halving estimates April 22nd, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 5,398 Bitcoin. Capacity value, it's sitting around 159 million US dollars. My favorite stat of this, I keep saying that every single day. And in the day to day, it's like a stat frozen in time, but over time, this stat's going to continue to go down. And what I'm talking about is the realized monetary inflation rate of Bitcoin. And it's going to continue to embarrass fiat currencies. This stat is going to be so minuscule 10 years from now. And governments are still going to be talking about how 2% is necessary, or we need to get the target rate to 2%. 2% theft. Like, that's basically what they're trying to justify. We have to force that issue, peacefully, color within the lines, but we have to make them answer a question. Why are we being forced to use money that steals from us? Anyways, that inflation rate is currently at 1.75%, and the market capitalization of Bitcoin, $573 billion with a B. Anyways, let's talk about what's going on in Argentina. So this is a CoinDesk article. It says Argentine Congress approves IMF debt deal that would discourage crypto use. This is old news, but just to give a bit of context because there has been some developing news. But let's fast forward in time a little bit and see how that worked. Here is a article dropped by a fellow Bitcoiner. If you haven't been following him on Twitter, his name is Crypto Bastardo, also known as Javier Bastardo. And the headline, which we covered a couple days ago, which is crypto usage rises across Argentina despite the anti-crypto IMF deal. Now, what's really interesting, though, is that there's even more a development around this, is that they went out and basically, this is a de facto ban, in my opinion. Javier Bastardo, who wrote the Forbes article, he's been, clearly been paying attention to this. And he says, quote, the Central Bank of Argentina has just published a statement stating that payment service providers, quote, will not be able to carry out or facilitate operations with digital assets, including crypto assets. The justification is to, quote, mitigate the risks for the user and the country's economic system. So that includes exchanges, that includes brokers, that includes banks, It's very difficult. You're going to have to buy Bitcoin peer-to-peer. That's what a lot of people do in developing countries. But yeah, it's just so crazy that is the government really working for the people? And this is, we always say Bitcoin exposes incentives, right? Is the government really working for the people? If they're literally trying to shut off the escape valve that people are going to use to provide for their families, to put food on the table. Like, this is insane. They want to force you into a hyperinflationary currency. This is nuts. This is nuts. What is this? What is this? Is this what? This isn't this isn't the role of government. This sounds like tyranny to me. Anyways, so obviously that causes some political upheaval, and Argentina is actually I think the election is this year or next year. It's going into an election year, and you're seeing the rise of candidates that are pro Bitcoin and anti central bank. And specifically, we dedicated an episode on this man. It was like a couple months ago. His name is Javier Milei. An Argentine libertarian is rising in the polls. Annual inflation of 104% is boosting support for him. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. Anyways, here's a video of him on Argentina to like Argentine TV, and I think he's like a central bank is like a piñata, and he's hitting it. I don't know, bro. It's funny. Let's check it out.
Ahí lo corre, espere.
Espera,
Ahí está.
es un piquetero.
Ahí está. Ahí está. Atención, es el día de su cumpleaños.
Chicos, parece de quebracho.
Cuidado que va a romper.
Parece de quebracho.
Pará que va a romper todo. Pará, Javier, pará. Correte, ayúdalo.
Chicos,
un poquito.
el palo.
Cuidado, pará.
Correte.
Vení, que no entras. Ahí está. Tranquilo, con tranquilidad. Simple. Cuidado, chicos, córranse. Pará. ¡No! ¡Pará! ¡Cuidado! ¡No! ¡Cuidado! ¡Pará! ¡Acá! ¡Ahí! ¡Pará! ¡Bueno, basta! ¡Pará! ¡Ahí está!
Listo.
¡Pará! ¿Qué? ¡Llévatelo! ¡Basta!
Dude, that reminds me of Simply Bitcoin. That's what we do here every single day.
Straight up, bro. We should get a central bank piñata and just beat the shit out of it. And it was so funny because when first of all, he destroyed it on the first hit. Okay, that's number one, right?
Bars.
It's metaphor right there. Second is when he was hitting it, he was like, for inflation, and he was just hitting it with the stick, and the paper money was just coming out. Man, that's some good TV. To have some good TV down in Argentina, man. But in all seriousness, I'm glad that people are waking up, but it's actually something that I mentioned in the Cafe Bitcoin spaces earlier with Swan. I think that the reality is that the average everyday person is going to have to go endure some type of pain before they start asking the important question of what money is in the first place. I think that if you live in the developed world, the bread and circuses are extremely strong. And I think because of how strong they are, I just don't like, people are just gonna be like, why should I care about this? I got Netflix. I got the games on Sunday, bro. The game. It's just us like Bitcoiners that are on the sidelines, like, yo, like money's broken. Like, what are you talking about? Like the world, like, holy crap, like down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And then you start having all these realizations, like, have I really been living a true life? Like I've been in the Matrix the entire time. What the F is going on? So just interesting. But Opti, I think the next step for Simply Bitcoin is to get a central bank piñata. It is Cinco de Mayo. So we should have fucking planned that out for today. But we messed up. But we will get one for you. We will get a central bank piñata. It's happening. Anyways, Anders, what are your thoughts about this, bro?
Yeah, I think, first of all, that was a wonderful video. And yes, you messed up. You should have had that yourself, Nico and Opti, obviously. Great video. And I think, as you were saying, people need to understand that there is a problem and see a problem and feel a problem before they understand that Bitcoin is a solution. You don't people can't understand that Bitcoin is a solution and solves a lot of problems unless they realize that we do have some problems. Now, that should be a lot easier now with everything going on in the world. But yeah, that helps. You need to understand there's a problem to understand Bitcoin is a solution, but we're going to go through pain until everyone is on a Bitcoin standard. You see how, like, I live in LA, how there's just more and more homeless and everything is downhill, really. I mean, the roads look like Eastern Europe before the Iron Curtain dropped. I was there, I've seen that. So everything is downhill until we go on a hard money standard, in my opinion. So, but we'll get there, and it won't take that long, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I agree. I think spot on with your time prediction. I agree. It's gonna be like definitely not 5, but definitely within, I would say, a decade and maybe some change, because I think this is gonna happen a lot faster than people think. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on this, bro? You are a Mexican American, and I'm allowed to say this because I'm Venezuelan. 1 through 10, what do you think about that piñata?
Solid piñata, very good.
Piñata.
I really liked how aggressive he was at beating it. It reminded me
Inflación.
It reminded me of my childhood and beating the guts out of my party piñatas as well. But let's roll this back a little bit. And the first story, we've covered a lot, and we continuously beat the head on the IMF. But the IMF is absolutely horrendous and evil. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. It is institutionalized imperialism at this point, and it's all under the guise of, I'm here to help you, here, take my money. It's literally like the mafia, like, take my money and we get to do whatever we want to you. So it's absolutely sickening that people still believe in the legitimacy of the IMF and the World Bank. But hey, we're extremists, we're Bitcoiners. We see the lie in real time. It's like back to, the fiat matrix, we talked about it. We're seeing the green code and we're reading it correctly, and this is why we are ostracized. But what do I always say? And I wasn't the first one to say it. Nico always kind of gives me the credit for this, but can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. And I say it all the time. It's becoming very obvious to me that if you give people the choice, they will always choose Bitcoin if they understand exactly what the stakes are. And this is why we show up every single day. This is why we tell you guys every single day to just continue having these conversations. Sometimes maybe just don't say the B word because people get triggered and they already have their own idea of what Bitcoin is. But you just got to point out that fiat is the problem. Paper money is the problem. Giving your power over to the central planners is why we are in this situation in the first place. And, it's absolutely disgusting what the Central Bank of Argentina put in paper. Again, though, boomers writing stuff down on paper and expecting it to affect our software. But hey, that's a whole nother topic. But one thing that we've been covering lately, and it's awesome to see at least the debate happening in Argentina as well as in the US. It is very interesting that Bitcoin is becoming a point of contention for politicians, becoming a very, very big topic all around the world, because I think people are starting to wake up to what we talk about here every single day, what everyone talks about on Twitter, is it's Bitcoin or free, or Bitcoin or slavery. Like, if you're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom. And now I think that signal is finally waking up, finally waking people up, getting out there. And it's going to be something moving forward that just cannot be ignored. And unfortunately, like Anders said, humans only learn through pain. So unfortunately, as hopeful as I am, and as optimistic as I am, the world will need more pain to learn what is going on. And that's just the sad reality of it. The pain will continue until the world wakes up to the fiat scam. And that's where we are. So hopefully it doesn't happen overnight, and slowly but surely we get more people on the Bitcoin standard. But I think inflation is going to have to get a little worse for the average person to wake up. And I think we're kind of there. Like, we're starting to see it. We see banks blowing up. Obviously, in Argentina, I think it should be obvious to people why they shouldn't hold their local fiat currency. but it's just sad to see that people are still pushing the dollar on them. And, you know, it's just part of the learning curve. Everyone always goes into a stronger currency. So yeah, if you're in Argentina and you see your peso blowing up, you're probably going to go to the dollar just because it seems stable. So it's just the next step is eventually people will either go to gold, and then they will eventually go to Bitcoin. And then finally, we're all on the Bitcoin standard, and we realize that Bitcoin is superior to everything else, and the world will stop getting robbed. But hey, it's a process. It'll take time, and this is just why we're probably going to have a job for a little bit, Nico, you know? Until Bitcoin is just boring, we're going to be able to talk about this for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the slogan of the channel, right? We will be your guide through the separation of money and state, and you know, we are all living through it. This is front row seats, but this is what a crazy time to be alive. You know, that's for sure. That's undebatable at this point. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's get to the news. We got a lot to talk about.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade. Built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin. All right, guys, I also want to tell you about the Orange Pill app. Stack friends who stack sats. Did you move to a new city, or perhaps you are in, you know, the city that you've always lived in, but you don't know, you can't connect with the people around you because they're on a different operating system than you. They're still on a fiat standard while you're on a Bitcoin standard. You can't really relate to them anymore. Hop on the Orange Pill app, and you can connect with Bitcoiners near you. It's the #1 resource for Bitcoin-only events. You could create a Bitcoin-only event. Are you going to be in Miami? I'm sure your day will be full of amazing speakers and talks, but what are you going to be doing at night? There's nothing worse than being in a city full of Bitcoiners, but you're in your hotel room watching TV. Download the Orange Pill app. Don't put yourself in that situation. Anyways, everybody, we got a lot to talk about. So we had Dennis Porter on the show speaking about Montana. Another state following Arkansas. I think Missouri was another one. I know Wyoming passed a very pro Bitcoin, is specifically protecting the right. This is so crazy. The right for an individual to run a node, the right for an individual to hold their private keys without fear of seizure. Like, it's just so nuts. This is where we are in the movie. Anyways, so Montana. So the Montana governor signs pro cryptocurrency mining bill into law. Greg Gianforte, the governor of Montana, has signed into law a bill largely preventing local governments in the state from passing laws prohibiting cryptocurrency mining. According to records from the Montana legislature, Gianforte signed SB 178 into law on May 2nd after the bill has passed both the state House and Senate. The legislation effectively enshrines crypto miners' rights in the states by revising existing laws prohibiting discriminatory electrical rates for mining firms and not allowing taxation for crypto used as method of payment. The latest version of the bill suggested the legislation was introduced partly as a preventative measure in response to certain proposals in other states. Well, I mean, that makes total sense, and we're going to get to why. Also, shout out to Dennis Porter. He did say this was going to happen yesterday. He said we're still waiting on the governor to sign it, but now it is official. If you're a Bitcoin miner in the state of Montana, you're protected on the state level, which is awesome. And if the federal government continues to be hostile towards the industry, Dennis was talking about it, yesterday on yesterday's episode, we might see Bitcoin mining go, or Bitcoin in general, go the way of the marijuana industry, where marijuana is illegal on a federal level. On a federal level, they like to give hell to the marijuana industry, but on a state level, you have giant industries in California and Colorado and Oregon. So, is this the way that it's going to go? Perhaps, maybe so. I don't know. Anyways, also, I know Dennis Porter gets a lot of heat, and, But I don't see anyone else doing this, to be honest. Also, not to mention, Satoshi Action Fund CEO Dennis Porter reported Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has already signed this into law. So Arkansas is another state. And then, quote, I think this is something he said on yesterday's show. At the state level, we can have a lot of progress. We can move things forward. And there isn't a whole lot the federal government could do in the meantime. And I think that's true. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on to the opposite side of the spectrum. And this is the beauty of living in the States, right? Is that, you know, the states compete for your business, right? We saw New York and California go a little bit crazy with taxes and being hostile to businesses. And a lot of individuals fled to Texas and Florida where this, you know, there is no state income tax. It's a lot friendlier for business. And when there's competition, it kind of forces the other states that are, you know, kind of crapping the bed, so to speak, to change course, right? You know, so it's great. Competition is a good thing. When jurisdictions compete or businesses compete for you, you win, right? Anyways, so we have Montana, right? On the other side of the spectrum, North Carolina County bans commercial Bitcoin mining for a year. It goes on to say Buncombe County Board of Commissioners is moving forward with a moratorium on cryptocurrency mining. Commissioners approved the 1-year ban after holding a public hearing during the meeting of May 2nd. The moratorium passed unanimously despite local Bitcoiners coming together to voice their concerns, according to Bitcoin Magazine. The county's current ordinances do not define cryptocurrency mining as a specific use. Cryptocurrency mining operations could negatively affect surrounding neighborhoods due to excessive energy use, e-waste, pollution, and noise. The temporary pause, it's always temporary. New York State is also temporary, but remember the saying, right? There's nothing more permanent than a temporary measure by the government. So the temporary pause will help protect the public interest until regulations regarding cryptocurrency mining are adopted. The 1-year ban is effective immediately through May 1st, 2024. That is crazy. We live in a world now where like you can't use your high energy use toaster. Okay? Because what pollution? What pollution? ASICs don't emit CO2. What pollution are they talking about? And this is the narrative. This is the same narrative that the White House tried to use to justify the 30% or the proposed 30% on Bitcoin mining. What is the actual, like, what are they actually trying to get out of this? They're trying to kill the industry. If you can't control the money, you can't control people. And that freaks the hell out of them. So the environment is just a very convenient excuse. But if you look into the nuance, like if you look into the details, Bitcoin miners can't use energy that is you can't just set up a Bitcoin mine in the middle of a city. You're gonna be priced out. You have to go to where there's cheap electricity. And where there's cheap electricity is isolated energy pockets, right? Literally in the middle of nowhere. There's a reason it's so cheap, right? Electricity, you can't transport it over long distances. It loses a percentage every mile that it's transported. You can't store it effectively in a battery. Battery technology is not there yet. So you kind of have to use it right then and there, right? So they never talk about any of this, right? Because if you could do those things that I mentioned, then it would still be too expensive for Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin miners are like water. They're going to always flow to the cheapest sources of power. And that power was already going to waste. Because if it wasn't already going to waste, then it wouldn't be so goddamn cheap in the first place. But they never mention that. They always say like the same old thing. You hear it over and over again. Bitcoin miners uses more energy than the country of Denmark. Okay, but what energy is it using? And do we really want to live in a world where the government is getting to decide, the state is deciding what energy use is okay, what energy use is not okay? That's a very slippery slope. Remember the gas stoves? Right? So they, that was one of the things that they were like flouting around, like, oh, we're going to ban gas stoves, like whatever. And then when they got so much public pushback, they're like, no, that's crazy. We never said that. New York State just passed the law that any building built after, I think it's after 2024, 2025, cannot have gas stoves in it. That is nuts. Like, who are these people? Like, as an individual, you're not entitled to use gas to cook your food. You're not entitled to use a toaster. This is really what NASIC is. It's just a toaster. Okay? You can't use a toaster. You know what I have to say about that? You gotta leave my toasters alone. Okay? Leave my fucking toasters alone. Okay? This is crazy. This is clown world. But unfortunately for them, Bitcoin's incentives stay winning, right? Bitcoin miners are just going to go where they're treated best. The CCP, they tried to do the same thing. They banned Bitcoin mining within their borders. All those Bitcoin miners, the hash rate dropped. They conveniently did it in the peak of the last bull market. So I suspect that's one of the reasons that Bitcoin didn't hit 100K. And the hash rate, not only is it continuing to make all-time high, all those miners relocated all around the world, further decentralizing the Bitcoin network. You can't kill the honey badger, and if you try to, you're going to make the honey badger even stronger, and you're going to piss it off even more, and it's going to come and bite you in the ass. Hashtag leave my toaster alone. This is some crazy shit, bro. This is some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I can't believe dude, could you imagine what the founding father, you know, the meme where it's like George Washington's face and it's like, get the muskets, like, bro, like, dude, like, we live in a world where like the state is telling you what computers you can run, what computers you can't run. That is crazy to me. That is nuts. And of course, it's all under the guise of the environment. It's like, okay, fine. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, the environment. What about electric cars? What about video games? So what about washing machines? You know, like they all use electricity too, so they're okay. But it's just Bitcoin miners conveniently that, you know, hinders your ability to control people because people will just opt out of state money. Those are the things that's like, oh no, those things are the ones that are bad for the environment. Everything else, that's okay. Like, it's such false narrative propaganda BS. That's my take. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on this, brother?
First and foremost, get your hands off my toasters. Get your hands off my space heaters. What is going on here? This is absolutely crazy. First, you know, the anti-status in me, I just keep harping on the same idea of like, okay, boomer writes things down on paper and thinks it will stop human action. Like, okay, got it. But like Bitcoin incentives is too strong to not run software. This is all we're doing. And I'm glad that you brought up the founding fathers because I was going to do the same little rant about it. It's like, this is the First Amendment issues. Bitcoin software is literally just code. It is just words. It is just a database. And politicians cannot write any law impeding on our constitutional right of the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. This is just code. This is just words. We've seen this happen in the encryption wars of the past, and we're just seeing this play out again. So no computer illiterate in Washington or any politician for that matter can ever stop us from using the Bitcoin software. And shouts out to whoever said it in the chat. It's like, oh, I'm glad there's a law to allow me to do what I was going to do anyways. Shouts out to you. This guy gets it. But I do applaud the effort to work towards a favorable environment for Bitcoin in the US because I want to see the US win. I want to see Bitcoin the US become a leader in the Bitcoin world and not fall behind because I do not want to abandon my home. I want to see my family start to prosper. And it really does terrify me just seeing how the federal government and politicians are attacking Bitcoin. And it really does make me wonder whether we do live in the land of the free anymore. And it is a very scary precedent, but hey, the unproductive class will soon get on the same page because Bitcoin's incentives are too strong and more people are holding Bitcoin every single day. And as we move into this next bull run, more people will wake up to the idea, wait, maybe my fiat currency, maybe what I think is so stable is really losing value and it's losing a lot of ground against Bitcoin. So I'm hopeful that America will come to understand that Bitcoin is American and that we should embrace it. But it really reminds me of the Lord of the Rings meme, you know, like we got to throw the ring in the fire, but obviously they know the power of the money printer and they're not going to do it. But man, the founding fathers are very much rolling around in their graves. They were Bitcoiners before their time. And I fundamentally believe that they would be Bitcoiners. I mean, what did Brad Sherman call us all yesterday? Tax evaders or whatever. It's like, you're muted, Nico, but
inflation
doesn't he
evaders, inflation evaders,
but doesn't
bro.
he remember what America was freaking built on? They freaked out over 3% taxation of simply tea. And we're at like 30 to 40% of everything we do now. Like, dude, he doesn't understand American history at all. And I hate to do the tinfoil hat, but a lot of these people are bought and paid for by the CCP, and it's becoming more and more obvious. I know, Nico. I went contentious. I went there. I'm sorry. I went there.
Okay. I mean, if you know, you know. Anyways, Anders, what's up, dude?
We quickly change the subject. No, actually, so let me know if I can't say this, but you're talking about IMF before Opti and central banks. Really, the way I see it is the biggest organized crime cartels of the world. And the problem is that the politicians really just are corrupted and paid to work in their favor, like the 30% tax on Bitcoin mining or cryptocurrency mining, although the rest doesn't matter. The problem is that these same private families that owns the Fed, they also own the media and control the narrative. And you have 99% of the population of this country just walking around like zombies, believing whatever the news tell them, but are not thinking critically, and that's a problem. But as Opti said, the incentives of Bitcoin are just way too strong, and fighting Bitcoin is like fighting the gravity of a black hole. It's a losing game. Bitcoin will win because it is eventually one person at a time. People will realize it is best. It's for their interest. It's for their family. It's for future generations, not be robbed every day by inflation. Why should we even accept that? And the founding fathers were specifically verbally against central banks. But later you had politicians corrupted in 1913, and it was written into to law to have a freaking Fed to organize steal from all of us.
Yep. And this is literally, and that was like the beginning of how we got here. Right. And, for anyone that doesn't know, right, the government spends $1 trillion every year, more than they collect in tax revenue. And the way that they're able to do that is because they have a money printer. We are not on a gold standard anymore since 1971, so they could print as much money out of thin air. And they're all able to do this because they have a central bank. Right. So, go ahead.
No, sorry. I thought you were done. Please.
No, you hit it.
Okay.
Hit it.
All right. So yesterday morning, I was reading a tweet from Luke Groman where he said the current interest rate that the Fed has set, which is now above 5%, if you add that or multiply it with the unlimited growing debt of the U.S. government, then you have the now more than 30 trillion and the 5%. You're looking at just paying the interest rate on the debt of United States is 40% of the all-time high tax receipts. But those all-time high tax receipts are no longer that high, and they came in short compared to last year because that everything bubble where they just get to take capital gains on all assets going up because they dilute the denominator is no longer the everything bubble. I mean, it is, but those assets have come down in prices. So the US dollar now, as we know, is really, really in trouble because the only way they can get out of that, they can't afford to pay 40% of all-time high tax receipts, just an interest rate. The only way out is to print more dollars. That's the only way that the government will not default. And by the way, so that will be an unofficial default by just overprinting so that the value of the debt goes down. And for the people saying, oh, but US will never default. Well, first of all previous global empires that had global reserve currency status, they had a lifetime about 100 years, which is where US has been in terms of global reserve currency status. But US has already defaulted twice. Once in 1933, where they stole and ran away from the gold obligations to the people of the United States. So that was a default on the citizens. And then in 1971, with Nixon closing the, as you mentioned earlier, Nico, there's nothing as permanent as a temporary government policy, where he temporarily closed the gold window so that the rest of the world couldn't come and get their gold for their currency, which was their agreement. So there he defaulted on other sovereigns. So US already defaulted twice, and the third one is coming up, likely in the terms of just overprinting. So what they owe now is going to become less in terms of percentage of GDP.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually funny because, you know, you had the current administration who's very hostile towards Bitcoin. They basically it was a tweet from Joe Biden, and basically saying the U.S. has never defaulted on its debt, and then they got community noted, basically like, no, the U.S. has defaulted many times. So it's just crazy that the same people that, you know, are against Bitcoin are also saying that, hey, you know, the U.S. has never defaulted. Like, it's just, you know, it's just interesting how that happens. It's an interesting phenomenon, to say the least. Anyways, guys, this is the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, and Bitcoin is generational wealth. And if you want to make it over the finish line with all your corn and you don't want to lose it, you got to store your Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases correctly. And there's no better place to do it than the BitPlates Domino. It's designed to preserve Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases, made from highly corrosion resistant 316 marine grade stainless steel. It offers the ultimate protection against extremes of temperatures. It also can't be eaten by a dog. You can use the promo code SIMPLY to get 10% off any products on bitplates.com. Anyways, guys, no more delay. Let's get to the culture. Let's talk about Anders and Pubby's event coming up in Miami. Let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. All right, guys, I want to tell you about Swan's new product as well. Bitcoin is generational wealth, and you can secure your bright orange future with the Swan IRA. Real Bitcoin, no taxes. Swan offers both traditional and Roth options to best fit your needs. Create your IRA and start adding Bitcoin in less than 1 minute. Transfers and rollovers are available. Swan's Bitcoin experts will get you set up with no transfer fees and no minimum balance requirements. This is the real thing, not ETF or other derivative. Get the real thing and get it at Swan. Go to swan.com/IRA for more details. And of course, if you have any questions, doubts, concerns, you could always send me a DM on Twitter. Anyways, Opti, let's talk about the party that's happened in Miami. What's going on there?
Go. Well, hey, I know everyone's been a good boy and girl out there, but hey, conference week is coming up. And what do you do when you hang out with Bitcoiners? You party, have a good time, get some drinks, eat some good steaks. And I remember the Pacific Bitcoin one, Anders, that you guys did, and it was pretty lit. And you're telling me this one's going to be even better. So I'm gonna just give you the field, tell people when it is, what they can expect. Give them all the sauce, brother.
Oh, wow. Well, it's LA, as you said, at Pacific Bitcoin, which we did in November, was a lot of fun. For me, unfortunately, probably couldn't be there. And for the people who attended, I got so much positive feedback. So I was very happy with that. And one of the things that I didn't anticipate was that people at the end of the conference said, Anders, going to your party made the conference even better for me, because when I rolled in, I already had relationships with other people, already knew some, because we throw it the night before general admission starts, which means this one is Thursday, May 18. General admission is Friday and Saturday in Miami. And when people said, gave all the positive feedback, which I was very grateful for, I promised them, look, we're gonna step it up next time. I guarantee we're gonna do it better. And having now money to play with in terms of, because we're selling tickets, has made that possible. Where in LA it was a lot of work with a budget of a minus to throw a good party, but we succeeded. This is definitely a step up, and here on your channel, I would like to publicly apologize to Bitcoin Magazine that is hosting a whale night that same night, because our venue is the best in South Beach. We're 0.7 miles from the convention center, and it's a rooftop. It's a fresh, brand new rooftop. It's gorgeous up there, and there are some facilities that's going to help us deliver what I think is pretty amazing entertainment. I think most of us love video memes, or memes in general on Bitcoin Twitter, right? That's what makes us laugh in this non-violent revolution that we're fighting. And Bitcoin, well, the video memes are just awesome. There's so many good ones. And we will be honoring those phenomenal genius people doing those video memes, and people will be able to enjoy that. And the way we're going to do it, I want you to experience it when you go there. But we worked hard, and we've stepped up from LA, and I'm looking forward to see what people think. And let's not forget, if people rock up, they'll meet Nico and Opti. Doesn't get better than that.
Let's go. Yeah, I didn't look down here. I saw some pictures, and I am surprised to see that I am here in one of these pictures. So
there you
let's
go. There you go.
But you're telling us, at least off air, that this party is going to be bigger than the last one. So how big was the last party, and how big is this party going to be?
So the last one we capped at 420 for the sake of a capacity of that.
For the memes.
Oh, what do you? Oh, for the memes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 420. The funny thing is, so this one we've capped it at 615 in the honor of American Hodl, and his wonderful meme where he said, I mean, that's pretty unobtainable today, I guess, but that that if you can stack 6.15 Bitcoin, you'll achieve eternal riches, and also something with the ladies. That we'll keep it a PG show here, but so for that reason, we decided to cap this one at 615. There might be there will be more people, but that's anyway the official cap.
Love it. Is there? I see you got tickets here. I see there's a time here. Is there a deadline to get tickets, or what's going on here?
No, we're gonna sell tickets all the way up to the event, so that's fine. The only thing is, I mean, they are selling, like we started at $21 and $42, and those people got it below cost, because it's not free to do, like, to get the best venue in South Beach. So right now there's the last 2 tranches left that are selling. And so, you know what? Back in LA, the one thing that that made me put down the credit card, because we had to ensure the bar certain sales to get it as a private place, so we could have it all for ourselves, only for Bitcoiners. And by the way, that's another thing with LA that we're very focused on, is we're only selling Bitcoiners about this. We're not going out doing, wide marketing or anything. I think it's super important that when people go there, they have an amazing time. Otherwise, they don't want to come to the next Toxic Happy Hour. So I mean, crowd control or whatever, I think is really important. And so the thing that made me put down the card in LA with Puppy's backing was I was asking, DMing Lawrence Lepard. He's on Toxic Happy Hour, often as a guest, if he wanted to come to our play party in LA. And he said in all caps, and he allowed me to quote him, otherwise I wouldn't say this. He wrote in all caps, screw the fancy dinners. I want to hang out with the plebs. And that gave me no choice. This was like 10 days before the LA party. Put down the card. We did lose a little money on that, but we got nice donations, though, that help us minimize that loss. Hodl Magoo, Lawrence Lepard, Greg Foss, other people, and some that just don't want to be mentioned. And those same people are gonna be there. And again, that's like we want to put those amazing people together. Like Lawrence Lepard is going to be there, Jeff Booth is going to be there, Mark Moss is going to be there, James Lavish is going to be there, Opti is going to be there, Nico is going to be like, I can't even BTC Sessions, I can't remember all of them, but that's the opportunity to go and hang out in a smaller setting than the conference and drink a beer, because these all want to talk to the plebs. They are plebs.
Let's go. Absolutely epic. So just to be clear, there's going to be a no shitcoin clause here. How are you going to turn away the shitcoiners?
Yes. So thank you for mentioning it. I can, if you scroll up a little bit, I can see it. So yeah, Gary Leland at Big Block Boom is really, really a nice person. He's a gentleman, unlike us, because if you shitcoin at his conference, you will be refunded and escorted to the door. We will just simply, like, I don't want to have that admin, right? We're just simply going to escort people to the door. But what we will give them is we'll leave them with a couple of acronyms as we tell them to leave, be it NFT bros or shitcoin shills. We will tell them JFI and HFSP. And for those who don't know, it is go fuck yourself and have fun staying poor. That will be the final words they hear while they're put into the elevator.
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. All right, Anders, well, where can they find this?
It's safe to say this is a Bitcoin maximalist party.
It is a look. We're toxic happy hour because we're toxic towards scams that delay the adoption of sound money. So we are toxic to anything like that. It's a very much a maximalist, toximalist, I would say. Really good people. Like people think sometimes that, oh, we should be bad to each other. No, we should only fight scammers and be nice to each other. Like Bitcoiners are smart people. They're good people.
Amen. Love that.
All right, Anders, how do they find this? How do they get to this Eventbrite page?
That's so I have it in my like if you guys could work in a link or something, that'd be awesome. But otherwise, on my profile on Twitter, it is in my profile description. There is a link to Eventbrite. Otherwise, if they go on eventbrite.com, search for Toxic Happy Hour, and my good co-host and friend. Yeah, there you go. It's in there up in the profile. There's a link to Eventbrite. Also, my dear brother from another mother, Puppy, aka at Poplord Hoddle, his pinned tweet also has a link to that. But yeah, thank you very much for bringing that up.
No worries. Guys, I think I dropped it in the chat. I don't know if it went through the YouTube, but it should be in the chat for you guys as well. So click the link and we'll see you guys in Miami.
And can I just say, thank you so much for having me on. It's awesome to see how Simply Bitcoin is like the most professional Bitcoin show today. I mean, it's clear to me, especially when I get on here and I see everything going on. You guys are killing it. It's amazing, and all this signal that you're sending and guiding people through this, as you're saying, Nico, separation of money and state. It's a great job, and very thankful and honored to be here, guys. Appreciate it, and look forward to drink beers with you and shots.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure having you, bro. But the show's not over. We got the meme review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks. Kaboom Racks. Kaboom Racks. Anyways, Anders with his compliments made me blush on TV. Anders, I really appreciate the love, dude. We do put a lot of effort into this, and you know.
I can see, man. Like you guys, I'm thinking like, no, we're gonna stick to the whole unscripted, unedited thing that we're doing. But you guys, yeah, huge thumbs up, man, for what you're doing.
This is totally unscripted. We do this off the cuff.
We paid him. We paid him to say the nice things, guys. No, we didn't.
It comes from the heart of a
man. Well, I really appreciate that, Anders. Anyways, guys, I want to tell you about the Touching the Tips ceremony. I will be, me and BTC Sessions will be doing a Simply Sessions show in Miami at the Bitcoin Grove, May 16th at 11 a.m. What's going to be happening? Nico will have a strip of his hair dyed blonde by the lovely Mrs. Sessions, a live Simply Sessions news show stream, and giveaway and prizes. So definitely don't want to miss this event. It's going to be like one of the first Simply Bitcoin events, which we're doing with Ben, that we've ever done. So I'd love to see you guys in person. And, you can check out the link, which is in the video description, and you guys could buy a ticket to the Touching the Tips ceremony. Anyways, Opti, what type of memes are we reviewing
wait, hold on.
today?
Before we go on, is there like a deadline? Is there a time frame where Nico has to keep the tip dyed, or is this are you gonna just like shitcoin rug pull us and it's gonna be like a 1-day thing?
I think I don't know, bro. Like, I
see how you like it. Play it by ear.
It has to grow out, man. You can't cut that.
I feel like all YouTubers, like, they go through, they go through a dyeing of the hair like phase, and I think I've reached that point. I think it's time.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, and I see Ben's in the chat. I have this vision of Nico growing old with like continuously having like a long strip of blonde hair now, like moving on forward. This is the final form. All right, anyways, guys, this is the meme review. This is your favorite portion of the show. You listen to everything else we say just to watch the memes. So keep tagging us on the memes on Twitter. Send the memes in our Telegram group. I am looking for them all. Of course, I can't fit every single meme that we get on the show, but I do put them in our show notes, and I do have backlogs, so I'll try to get to them all. And just keep tagging me. Of course, what do we say? Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. We are in an information war, guys. Do not be confused. The war is on truth. Memes are our tools to battle against the lies. Continue to ridicule the corporate press. Continue to make the funnies for your friends and family so that they become Bitcoiners. And continue to get the calls of action so that people wake up to the signal. Anyways, this first meme, drop your meme review score in the chat once we cover these so we can cover them live. Anyways, this first meme is by one of our homies at Hodl Tarantula, and I'm almost positive we will see him in Miami as well. And sometimes the memes write themselves, and he just goes, seemed appropriate, and he got a screenshot here, and someone DM'd him saying, have you ever considered diversifying with the littlest portion of Bitcoin into other asset class and markets like Forex and NFTs, etc.? And he just sent a screenshot, a GIF that says, fuck you. Get out of my DMs. Absolutely love it, Tarantula. This next meme is on the same thing. This was by Lochu Paletti. And he goes, just say no to shitcoins, hashtag Bitcoin. And we got the classic Guy Fawkes mask with a Bitcoiner in a suit. Very dapper Bitcoiner over here eating a steak, and he just goes, nope, just say no to shitcoins, just say no, as he eats his steak, and it goes, Bitcoin is better money, avoid the shitcoins at all costs. Anyways, this next one, shout out to Solomon, he tagged me in this one. But we have Max Kaiser up here, the Bitcoin marketing team, and we got Christine Lagarde, we got Augustus Carsons, we got Jay Powell, yeah, we got Janet Yellen, and we got this meme by Sean Sr. Absolutely love it.
Lagarde is still on Opti's mind.
Always, forever. The one that got away. No.
She's
Anyways,
French, Opti. She's French.
I know. Someone said, look, you guys are matching with the scarves, bro.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. So the meme for the audio is it's a bell curve. This is for the adoption cycle. And we got the 2.5% of innovators. We got the 13.5% of early adopters. This is where we are. This is the current cycle. We got 34% being the early majority. We got 34% being the late majority. And we got 16% being Lagarde or the laggards. Absolutely love the meme. Shouts out to Solomon for tagging me. This next one's a little more meta. Shouts out to Eggplant Elon. He goes, opt out of this madness and stack Bitcoin. And the meme is it's a chart here. Well, it's more like a square visual, and it goes the 30-second guide to government spending. And he goes, buy something using your own money for yourself equals in the first quadrant, high concern for quality and cost. But when you buy something using someone else's money in the second quadrant, it is a high concern for quality, low concern for cost. And then we move down and it goes, buying something using your own money for someone else is the third quadrant. It goes low concern for quality, high concern for cost. And in the last box, it goes buying something using someone else's money for someone else. It is low concern for quality and low concern for cost. And then it goes on the bottom. This is the kicker. It goes individuals buy in quadrant 1 and governments buy in quadrant 4. Absolutely devastated. The 30-second guide to government spending. This next meme is by Agaris Nexus or at Agaris N. And there's nothing written here, but this is the classic, guy in a boardroom that gets thrown out the window meme. And we got the CEO, whatever you want to call him. He goes, what can we do to help poor people be less poor? And we have one idea, raise tariffs on imports. And then another idea, blame the 1%. And then we got the Chad Bitcoiner, which is basically what we tell you guys every single day. Why are we being forced to use a money that steals from us? And he goes, stop stealing 40% of their paychecks. And then he gets thrown out the window because that's not the right answer, apparently. Anyways, this next meme is by Maxie's Club, just continuously killing it on Twitter. It goes 385, not a surprise. And we got a husband and a wife, and we got the Pepe Bitcoiner laying in bed, and he goes, good morning. And the wife goes, good morning, I'm going to wake up our daughter. And the mother goes, the mother Bitcoiner goes to the daughter, the US dollar hasn't been backed by gold for 50 years. And then the child Bitcoiner goes, buy Bitcoin. This is the way, boys and girls. Anyways, this next meme shouts out to Rope, aka at Ropium on Twitter, and he goes, all the banks are broke. And this is a play on the classic Drake Hotline Bling meme. And we got a Pepe the Frog looking away, disgusted by fiat money. It doesn't matter where the fiat money, the paper IOUs come from. Say no to shit coins. And then we got a Pepe Bitcoiner with laser eyes drooling over Bitcoin. This is the way, guys. Stack them sats, stay humble, continuously provide value, save in Bitcoin. This is the way. This is how you make it through the Great Reset. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat. Yeah, drop your meme review score in the chat, and we will cover them live. All right, Nico. I should have done something Mexican for Cinco de Mayo, but I completely forgot. But in honor
do we have Mexican music?
I don't have it on my soundboard. I should have it, huh? In honor of the Toxic Happy Hour party, and in honor of being a true gentleman, I got some Macallan 12 here for you guys.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Okay.
Stepping it up today, Nico. I'm stepping it up today.
Yeah, I have to go through my cabinet to get something dope. Okay.
I got my booze in the freezer. I like it cold.
Oh, okay.
You're drinking at room temperature? What's wrong with you, Opti?
I like my stuff neat at room temperature. It's delicious.
Dude, really?
Yeah.
Something wrong with you. Okay.
There's a lot of things wrong with me.
I am...
One more bites the dust.
Yeah, what's one more?
I'm gonna go.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Rico Suave. Now I just imagine him with the bleach tip. Wow, that's called fashion.
It's over. Yeah, these are my Miami shades. I don't dress like this anymore. Now I just kind of wear a hoodie everywhere. Anyway.
That's shitcoin, Nico.
Anyway, that is shitcoin. That's some fiat Nico right there. Anyways, guys, before we
wait, it's Anders' turn, bro.
Oh my! I thought Anders said it. I thought it's the booze in the fridge. Anders, what would you give? What would you give those meme scores?
So like, how does this work? Should I say which one I love the most, or like?
No, you just give it. You just give it a score. Yeah, you just give it a score.
No, I would definitely say keep your booze in the freezer, especially if you're a Viking. It's freezing. It's freaking cold there. That's my best response. Yes, you're right, Nico. That was that's the answer. That's the review.
That was the main score. That was the main score. Keep it cold. All right, everybody. Before we move on to before we read the meme scores, I want to give a very special shout out to represent our clothing sponsor. Opti and I wear the merch every single day. I'm wearing the classic blue hoodie. Opti is wearing the dad hat.
I haven't done laundry, hence why I haven't been wearing the shirts.
the hats were available again, and they sold out.
The snapbacks are sold out completely again.
They're sold out again. Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought you just said they were.
Guys, you have to get your Simply Bitcoin merch while supplies last. Also, check out all the other amazing merch on the representltd.com store, and you can use the promo code simply-bitcoin. Get yourself a nice 10% discount. Anyways, Opti, let's get through some of the meme scores, but before, cue the epic music. All right, HODLcoin. I give the memes a middle finger to the IMF, then a smash buy. I like that. Kobach boys, I give it a 30% tax on mining.
Wow, they were that bad? I thought those were good memes. Okay, anyways, hold on. Let me find the next one.
Extemos, shout out Extemos. Extemos, we're going to be hitting you up soon, brother. I rate those memes a bottle of decoy. If you know, you know. Okay. I like that. All right. Next meme is Opti's Big Mac coin wallet. Score where is scaff life on air. If you believe all.
I didn't read that. Oopsies. Wrecked.
AKS74. Opti is a terrible filter, bro.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Real quick shout out to Dennis Lassen. I saw in the chat, another Dane. There's not many others.
Another Dane. Another Dane. All right. AKS74S. I give the memes pinata. Very nice. Very nice. All right, next one by Andrew Williams. I give the memes a double term Bitcoin supporting POTUS. Ooh, I like that. It's not a zero chance right now. Anyways, next meme score is by Opti. It's basic biology. Bitcoin is not backed by anything. Bitcoin is the thing. Ooh, I like that. Apollo 21, my Lego model of the Great Wave. I like that. And the one, the only legendary BTC Sessions. I give those memes a honk hodl hat. Oof.
Let's go. See, wait, hold on. Look, we got a man of culture in the chat. Macallan 12 can be drank neat and sipped slow. See, as someone gets it.
I'm a Macallan. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
I'm not going to say that.
Wow. Soft flex. Okay.
Anyways,
all right. Last one.
Matthew J. I give those memes frosted tips. Okay. Yep. Get your tickets to the Touching the Tip ceremony. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be dope. I'm really looking forward to it. Anyways, I want to thank our very special guest, the legendary Anders, host of the Toxic Happy Hour Twitter Spaces, which is in the time slot right after Simply Bitcoin, and with his legendary co-host, Pubby, the one and only. I'm really looking forward to your guys' event. It's going to be a great party, and these are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, man, I'm really excited to hang out with you in the flesh in Miami. It's going to be awesome. Maybe have it. What's your poison of choice? I like tequila. I'm a tequila man myself.
Well, I like Skinny Bitch. Skinny Bitch is a vodka soda. I do like that. I do also have a sweet tooth, and since it's Miami Pina Colada, I'm a fan. But we may have some surprises there. We're still working on that.
Pina Colada, bro. That sounds like a hangover and a half the next day.
I love it, man. I can't, I just gotta be honest here.
Yeah, man. I just drink tequila on ice, and I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. Anyways, Anders, it's been an honor. Thank you so much for joining us on an episode of Simply Bitcoin, guys. Simply Bitcoin Live, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for the week. Opti and I put our heart and soul into these every week. It's definitely a grind, but it wouldn't be possible without all you guys watching and supporting us. We really appreciate all the love. Thank you for all the messages that we've been getting on the Orange Pill app. Thank you guys for streaming us sats on Fountain. We really, really appreciate all the love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Simply Bitcoin. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to smash that like button. If you feel like we provided you value, consider subscribing to Simply Bitcoin. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution forward is share all Bitcoin content. Speaking of Bitcoin content, I'm going to be on another show later tonight. I'm going to be on the BTC Sessions. Why Are We Bullish? Is going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be with David Bailey, Jason Meyer, and myself, and of course, the one and only BTC Sessions. So it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that. Guys, we are holding it down until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Twitter Spaces, the after party with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin, best place to build your Bitcoin stack. Shout out to the best producer in the game, producer Jacob, and we will see you there. If you guys want to do a live hangout and just chill and chat, I think Anders is going to be there as well. So other than that, everyone, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you Monday, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live.
This toxic Simply Bitcoin happy hour. I do have the Macallan 12 chilling here, but it is a little early, and I am trying to go to the gym soon. So I don't think drinking whiskey before going to the gym is the smartest idea here. But hey, let's see what's going on. Anyways, guys, this is Friday. I know